Hi bookworms, so I found the reverse button on my webcam, yay! So I can finally do one of these videos that I've been wanting to do for ages. So pretty much this is a video which is pretty much telling you 10 things, my top 10 things, or top 10 reasons why I like books. So let's get started. Number 10, they wait for me. Okay, so firstly, when you have a book, you open it up, you read it, you might read the first 3 pages, character doesn't really do much. Oh no, I have to go somewhere, I have to do something. You can close the book and it remembers, like as long as you put a bookmark in there, it remembers. Not like a movie where you have to sort of turn it back on again, press it, get to the menu, select the section you were up to. It's there, it waits for you. The story doesn't just keep going without you, you don't miss anything. The story, the characters, everything, it's as if you haven't left when you go back. So that's what I really like about books. So, number 9, they're portable. So again, this goes back to the thing of they wait for you. I can take it on a bus, or on a train, or on a plane, or I can read it in the queue at the bank. I can read books wherever. I don't have to, with movies or other things, I don't have to wait for them to turn on. I don't have to be in the right spot. I don't have to be attached to power. I can just pick it up and read it wherever I want to read it. So that's why I really like books. And number 8, they are reusable. Now this might seem a bit silly, but not only can I read a book over and over and over again, as many times as I want to, if I get sick of a book, I can give it to somebody else. And they can have that book, and they can read it over and over and over again if they want to. Now the difference with this and other things is that, especially with ebooks, if you buy it, you decide you don't like it anymore, you want to give it to someone else, you can't. You can't. They have to buy another copy, and you just have to delete it. And that seems kind of ridiculous to me. I mean, I've read books, read them once or twice, and gone, well, I've read it now. It wasn't that great. I don't really want to keep it. Here, you have it. And I give it to somebody else. So the fact that I can pass it on, and the story is still given to somebody else, and somebody else gets to enjoy that book as well, is kind of a huge part of why I like books. And physical books, mostly. This one applies to. 7, they make sense. Okay, this has got a bit of backstory. So for those people who know me, know I'm social and I'm fine, but I'm introverted and I sometimes get really frustrated at people, and I don't really like people. And this isn't just me being like I hate the world, whatever. It took me a while to realize the main reason I don't like people is because I'm a really logical person. And so I understand why I do things, and I understand the logic behind why I've done something, why I behave a certain way, why I like things, why I don't like things. And so when I don't understand the logic behind someone's behavior, or why they like something or don't like something, I ask them. And sometimes people think that I'm just trying to change their mind when I ask them, or they don't understand why they do what they do, so they're not able to explain to me the logic behind what they do or how they behave or how they like things, and that frustrates me. And that's just me. I mean, I'm not saying I'm perfect, and I'm not saying that's the way everyone should be, but personally I just can't handle it. I found that was the same way with my studies too. If I actually didn't do great in chemistry because there were some things where I'd ask, well, why is it that way? Why is it that number? Why is it that particular substance? Why does it do that? And sometimes the teacher would just say, just because it does. And I couldn't comprehend that. My mind couldn't fully understand that something does something just because it does. And for me, that's what the thing is as well. Like with people, and I don't understand why they do what they do, and it frustrates me because I don't understand why they continue to do the same thing, and expect different results or whatever. I don't understand their logic, and that frustrates me, and then I get really annoyed and frustrated, and after a while it sort of compounds, and then I just sort of give up and go, whatever, I'm going to go in my room and read books. And the reason why I read books is because their characters make sense. I understand why a particular character has a fear of something, or I understand why a character behaves a way or likes things that they do or don't. And even if at the start it doesn't make sense, like Harry Potter, you know, don't know why Dumbledore was ignoring Harry, like, you know, but I knew that by the end of the book I would know, so I would continue reading. Whereas in life, there's no guarantee that if you continue reading, you'll know what the person's logic behind what they do is. So for me, that's why I really like books as well, because they make sense. Like, the characters in them make sense. They're logical or not, but I understand why. Okay, number 6. They are an adventure in your bedroom. Okay, so normally you're at home, you're not really doing much, whatever. I'm going to pick up a book and I'm going to go, I don't know, I'm going to be a pirate, or I'm going to be some person working in a marketing agency, or, and that was a really boring one, sorry. I don't know, I'm going to be a sailor, I'm going to be someone who flies dragons, I'm going to be Arya Stark, I don't know, you know, you can pick it up and you can be, you can, not so much be, but you can have an adventure without ever actually leaving your room. And that's a huge appeal for books to me, that I can go and visit places I've never visited before, or do things that I've never done before, and I never have to leave my room, and I know what it feels like to do those things. Alright, number 5. They're a classroom or a workshop in a few hundred pages. Okay, so this isn't specifically for fiction. This is more for non-fiction, and I found that I've learned a lot more from books than I have being at university. As much as I loved university, I learned a lot more about certain topics by just borrowing a book from the library, and sort of following the steps in those books that have gotten me further than I have in some of my classroom and workshop situations. Other times they complement the classroom or workshop, but either way, I've found they're really interesting, and you can learn a lot from a book, just on its own, just a book that's really interesting about a topic that you might be fascinated about, and you don't have to pay HEX fees. Oh my god, you don't have a huge HEX debt, and you can still learn stuff. So, another reason why I like books, no HEX debt. Okay, so this one's, oh geez, can't really see that one. So that's number 4, comic books. Yeah, there's really no other explanation except for comic books. They are art and literature in one. They are my childhood. They are amazing. That is why I like books. Comic books are a big reason why I like books. Alright. Oh, this one's even worse. Okay, so I'm going to just put the other one down because you can see the one underneath it. I don't know if you can read this one. I probably shouldn't have chosen this colour when I did it. So this one says, I'm going to read this myself because I forgot what I wrote. Oh, okay, they're an example of the wonders of language. Okay, so it's quite fascinating that some scratchings on a piece of paper, which are then printed by a machine and then folded and squished together into, you know, something this big. Then we read the words on the page and we understand exactly what the person was writing means. Well, as close to what they mean as possible, but, you know, we understand that colour means colour and green is you know, green. That doesn't look very green on my camera. There's something wrong with my camera. Anyway, yeah, we understand that, and the fact that it's just some squiggles on a page, but we understand what the other person was trying to say, is amazing. The fact that we can write a book on one side of the world and distribute it, and someone else will read it somewhere else and fully understand and be in our heads and understand what we were thinking as we wrote that, is quite amazing. Okay, number 2, they are better than reality. Okay, when I was in school, I didn't get along with a lot of people, so I hid in books, because books were a lot better than the real world, and I think a lot of you understand that, so I don't think I need to elaborate much more than it's an escape, and it's great, and it's better than the world that you're probably living in right now. Okay, the last one. I am not me. Okay, so this sort of plays on the adventure in your bedroom one. I don't have to be me. I can be anybody I want to be. I can, like I said, I could be Arya Stark. I could be some girl on some ship. I can go back in time. I can be in the French Revolution era. I can be in, I don't know, feudal Japan. I can be anybody. When I read a book, I'm not me anymore, I'm someone else, and I have all these other experiences, and I experience so many great things, and I'm someone else. So for a moment, I'm in someone else's head, and that's amazing. So yes, they are my top 10.